The Buccaneers have found a hidden gem. There is a player that has made the 53-man roster for the Bucs, just coming off of 1 year of football experience in college, and now he's here to help the Buccaneers, especially in the first part of the season, because we will be likely needing him, and we'll be talking about why this player is special and his backstory and what has led him to really make this remarkable jump. I'm Sebastian with Buccaneers Digest. Welcome back, everybody. Apologies for the different background, but I watched the Florida Gators game last night, so I'm in a different place. But overall, same stuff, same channel, and make sure to subscribe. 95% of viewers are not subscribed, but that is okay because you just got to hit the bell, hit the button, join Bucs Digest. 1 week away from today is the regular season. We have less than a week away for the regular season, but 1 week from today is the Bucs game 1 against the Falcons. Massive game, and this player that we're going to be talking about today has big implications about how the beginning of the season will go, and especially on the offensive line, because that is a big question with Tristan Wirfs out. We're kind of wondering, okay, who's going to step in? There is, conversations, or it's been confirmed that Charlie Heck will be kind of taking his place in the meantime at left tackle. But we're also like, okay, if things don't go well with Charlie, if he goes down, what do we have kind of in the bank just in case that happens? And none other than Benjamin Chawuka is who we're talking about. And obviously that's maybe not a name a lot of people are familiar with, but he really showed out in training camp and the preseason. There was some footage going around on the internet, some film breakdown of Benjamin's that was really showing that he has progressed a lot from where he was in college. He actually performed really well in college, which is why the Bucs took a chance and picked him up to try and make a spot on the team, which he did. And that's got a lot of confidence for him. The team's got to feel really good about developing him. The Bucs sneaky good at developing really good offensive lines. Jason Licht has done so twice now with basically two different offensive lines. Our Super Bowl winning one, and now we have this new one that is, you could argue it has the chance to be a top 5 offensive line this season, just because of how we developed guys, the leaders that they are, how they work together. Tristan Wirfs is really the only player from both of those offensive lines, and then you could say he's also the best left tackle in the league. So things are easier when he carries over, that he's the mainstay from both of those lines. But overall, though, it's really impressive how Jason's been able to develop offensive linemen. And Benjamin looks like he is the next project where that he could really turn into something. Because I want to mention, he only played 1 year at Georgia State. That was his entire experience of football before he, tried out for an NFL team. And here he is making a 53-man roster. He didn't even have to make the practice squad like a Nick Jackson, who showed out in the preseason, and then all of a sudden he's still in the practice squad. But with Benjamin, he went right there. He went right to the 53-man roster, and that shows how much confidence they have in his abilities and his potential and how we can develop him while he's on the team, and maybe if we'll need him in a game time situation. Obviously, Charlie Heck gets that specific nod just because he has experience with the team. He has played NFL snaps. Not the best snaps, in my opinion. He doesn't really have the best offensive line or PFF grades, but you would rather take the experienced one and the guy who's been practicing as the starter basically all training camp, rather than this new guy who's only had 1 year of football and while is showing a lot of promise, maybe might not be ready for the big games that we're starting off with, like the Falcons, the Texans, where we're pretty sure Tristan Wirfs won't be playing. But anyways, I want to talk about some of these quotes that I've been going around just analyzing Benjamin. Josh Quipo from Pewter Report said that he displays impressive leg drive when he is fully connected. His play strength is legit, and if he catches a defensive lineman off guard, he can toss a guy out of the club. He has a smooth shuffle to his pass set, keeping his feet evenly spaced with a quick pace. And when he maintains his balance, he adjusts quite nicely to inside counters. Now, there is a lot of mumbo-jumbo offensive lineman stuff in there, but at the same time, what's important is that he has a lot of raw strength, and the strength sometimes is all like offensive lineman players can give you, especially backups, but he actually is already, adjusting to NFL speed and able to counter different moves We'll talk about maybe some of his shortcomings and what he has to work on, but he's learning very quickly and he's adapting, which is really exciting to see like him skyrocket. And this guy has only played 1 year of football and he's already doing like getting onto like an NFL roster. I mean, that is insanely impressive. And it's I just again shouting out to the scouting people at the Bucs. They are just doing an amazing job finding talent that no one else is, and it's I just really have to take my hat off to them. But where the real buzz around Benjamin Chimanga came out is from this report, or Brian Baldinger. He had a video analysis, and in the video, I won't play. I'll play the video itself, but not the audio. But he said that naturally good on his feet. Like, this is a guy who played 1 year at Georgia State. He walked on for them, and now he makes the 53-man roster for the Bucs. Violent hands. He just naturally knows when you hit the hip, you move the body. If there's such thing as a natural for a guy who hasn't played much football, it's Chukwuma. So that's, I mean, I get excited when people say stuff about like these players that we get. It's just not something you see very often with a guy with so little experience. But to be like, no, he just comes in here and is just balling out and made the roster that quickly. Not even the practice squad. I know I keep repeating that, but I find that really unbelievable, and I'm really excited about it. And then Joshua Kwapo from Peterport also had to say, regarding maybe something he has to work on, Benjamin, that is, he says he is still figuring out how to effectively handle inside counters and can lose to spins, and when his face gets crossed because his balance is still not as consistent a part of his game. But perhaps most of all, the Bucs are betting on his competitive nature, facing one of the best pass rushers in this year's draft, and certainly the best competition he faced all year. Chukwuma had his best game of the season against Marshall edge rusher Mike Green, which is, I mean, come on. He's already putting on shows like against NFL talent, because Mike Green was a second-round pick for the Ravens, who were a Super Bowl contender just like we are, and it's just great to like have that experience. And then that was his best game, as he was going up against probably the best defensive player he played all season. So I'm just really thrilled about his competitiveness. He brings in the challenge. He invites the challenge. He doesn't back away from it. It seems like the harder the situation gets, the more he rises to the moment. And that's exactly the kind of competitiveness and just the edge that we need on the offensive line. There's the vibes in the offensive line room are really, really good. They're very strong, and obviously you don't want to like select players or draft players or scout them just based on vibes. But really, this guy has shown just really, really good prowess, and his adaptability, his ability to learn and really just try new things and just constantly develop is just extremely impressive to me. And I'm really excited to see if he will become one of these long-time Buccaneers, like developmental projects. Now, obviously, it's good to mention Tristan Wirfs is the best left tackle in football. There's no reason for us to want to replace him. But having a backup, a very solid to strong backup like tackle, is immeasurably good for your team. And because offensive line, it's just a violent position. And like Wirfs, like he has to get, stuff done. And there will be moments like the beginning of this season where it's like, okay, we need a guy to come in and help us out and push us to get some wins. We can't just blow these couple games where Tristan will be out because we just didn't have him. No, like we're trying to get like the 1 seed. We're trying to win a Super Bowl here, and every game counts. So Charlie Heck, though, is still right now. He's still the starter for the first couple games while Tristan is out. I'm just saying that I don't see it being impossible that Benjamin will come into a game for Charlie if he's performing badly, if just things aren't going well, he goes down with an injury. Like, Benjamin will come in, and I won't be that actually scared. It'll be interesting to watch, absolutely. But I think, like, just because of Charlie's history playing, I don't have the utmost confidence. His grades are pretty poor. But at the same time, though, he has all of training camp to practice. There's Ben Bredesen, our left guard, had to say about Heck. He said being able to bank all those reps with Charlie to get that gel and cohesion and start working on it early will hopefully pay dividends moving forward. And I think he is so right, because like as much as I worry and have criticized Charlie, having like the entire training camp in preseason to get all that work in, to put all those reps in and get like the cohesion, because when you're just coming in as a backup, you don't have like the feel, or like you don't really know what to do in certain situations, like when the offensive line, like some guy's hurt or someone like wants to do something. Like I know a lot of offensive line, you just go where the scheme is, but a lot of it is also you're trying to you want to know where your quarterback is when they're scrambling, when they're doing some improv. Same with the offensive line, when things break down, what can you do to help, and how will it kind of maximize the play's ability to succeed? And so Charlie has all of the training camp experience to make this work. But in the end, I really am interested to see how far our guy Benjamin here can go, because I just raw talent, 1 year of football experience, entire football experience, no high school, just 1 year of college, and he's already on a roster, not even practice squad. I just think that's an awesome story. Good for him. He came to America looking to like find out what he wanted to do, and he found quite the job that's going to pay pretty well, especially if he is a staple backup tackle. Maybe he becomes a starting tackle somewhere, but I'd love to keep him and keep him under wraps. So make sure, don't spread the word out too much about this guy, because he's our little secret. He is a guy to look out for, and hopefully maybe, put on some fireworks this upcoming season. We will see, but make sure to subscribe, guys, because we are on our way to 2,000 subscribers, and it's just really exciting because the season is right around the corner, and we're trying to hit that goal. But overall, I will see y'all in the next video. Make sure to just stay tuned. There's a lot to be excited about this upcoming week. Training, or the practice for week 1 begins tomorrow on Monday. It's all ramping up. The 53-man roster is set. These guys are ready to go and lunge forward into this next journey. So I will see you then.